I've got to make a video.
What should it be about? I must find the right game.
No, that's no good. No, 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 no. I'll save that for later. No, 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 no. Huh? Oh.
And time to start playing.
Sonic the Hedgehog. This blue hedgehog has been entertaining the world ever since 1991. Alongside Mario, he's one of the most well-known video game characters ever.
Even though, in my opinion, Mario is better. But instead of starting a war, I'm just going to tell you top 10 facts about Sonic that you probably didn't know. So, let's start.
Sonic was going to have a girlfriend. Girlfriend. An actual woman. A human being. What the heck is happening here? Instead of Sonic's trying to save little woodland creatures, he was going to try to save his girlfriend from Dr. Eggman. Her name was going to be Madonna, or I think it's Madonna, I don't know. And how does a hedgehog get one of those? I want one of those. But unfortunately, Sega thought this would be an appropriate thing for children because, well, hedgehog, human, it doesn't make sense. Sonic was not always blue, but hedgehogs aren't really supposed to be blue, so that would have been a little bit obvious. But we're going to go into a lot more of the Sonic's color. We're going to go into the origin of how Sonic became freaking fast. This information comes from the Sonic comic book, which shows the origin of how Sonic got his powers. There's a huge intro I have to cover for me to tell you the whole story about how Sonic actually got his powers, but I'm just going to sum it up by telling you this. Sonic was helping this guy called Dr. Ovikintabor to develop a power sneakers that can make people run fast. To test out the sneakers, Sonic had to get on a hamster wheel and see how fast Sonic could go. Sonic broke the sound barrier, destroying the machine and leaving him with a new look, fusing his quills together and turning them blue. Heck, they even made a backstory with Dr. Robotnik. Well, let's just put it as this. Dr. Eggman was Dr. Ovikintabor. But one day he fused with an egg.
So wait, what you're trying to tell me is that Sonic's main enemy, the guy that wants to kill him, was once a good guy, but one day fused with an egg, then became a bad guy? It's genius!
The greatest scientific genius of the world!
Before Sonic's name was officially going to be called Sonic, his name was going to be called Mr. Needlemouse. Mr. Needlemouse.
That's all I have for this one. I'm sorry, really guys, Mr. Needlemouse?
Dr. Robotnik isn't really a bad guy. In fact, Sonic was... In fact, Sega was going to make him the good guy. Sega wanted a competing character against Mario, so they came up with another mustached hero. Robotnik's original design was a little weird. His mustache was a little bit poofier and he was a little bit shorter. And also he wore pajamas. But eventually this idea was dumped and traded for Sonic the Hedgehog. But Sega liked the character and decided to keep him and use him as the main villain in Sonic the Hedgehog. And it's a good thing they did change it, and if this doesn't scream pedophile, I don't know what does. Before Sonic first started in his own game, he started in another game. The game was called Radmobile, another Sega title that involved racing. And where might Sonic actually star in this game, you might ask? Well, he's the air freshener. The air freshener. Because, you know, I always wanted to know what a hedgehog smelled like.
Thanks, Sega!
Sonic's favorite food is chili dogs. Yes, that is a fact, but that's not all. In issue 5 of the Sonic the comic book, Sonic ate 300 hot dogs and 100 milkshakes as the second course of breakfast. On the first course, he consisted of 200 hamburgers. How could someone eat so much, but run so fast? But it's okay, I drink about 300 Gatorades per day. I'm fine, I'm not close to dying, and I run fast, I'm Sonic. Not sponsored by Gatorade. Have you ever thought to yourself, hey, I really want to see a gigantic hedgehog. Well, now you can! Look at it, look how big it is. And please, if you made a "that's what she said" joke, you're very immature. But you're also right. Back in the ye old times of 1993, Sonic was the first ever video game character to star in the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade. Ha! Take that, Nintendo! Everybody knows you can't compete with a balloon unless you make your own balloons. Pika-P. You know when you boot up Sonic the Hedgehog, you hear that nice Sega logo? Sega! Yeah, that. Well, that Sega chant itself took up 1/8 of the cartridge. Like most games are supposed to have a sound test. Sonic the Hedgehog did not. So the cartridge had a lot of leftover space. So Sega decided to put that on there, and yep, that's how it happened. That's how stuff. You know when I said Sonic was almost called Mystery Needle Mouse? Well, he was also called Feel the Rabbit. Feel the Rabbit. And of course, being a rabbit, he was gonna have rabbit abilities, you know, things actually rabbits do. Like picking things up with their ears and throwing them at robots, cause rabbits actually do that. What? Seriously, Sega had a plan to make a game where they had a character that was a rabbit that picked up things with its ears to fight an egg-shaped man. Why? And finally, at number 10, Sonic likes to breakdance! Yeah! Breakdancing is one of Sonic's favorite pastimes. It was mostly stated in the Sonic comics, it was also stated in some games. And heck, Sonic is really good at it. Well, two can play at that game, Sonic!
Jake, you're a pro dancer. So on that day, Jake learned many life lessons, like how hedgehogs aren't really fast, and how people can't turn into eggs. But the biggest life lesson that Jake learned is that maybe the reason why he can't get any friends is because he constantly breakdances like an idiot. That's it. I'm going to go now. Peace out.